Hey everybody, it's Allie and it's Thursday, which means it's time for the tea. If you're new, welcome. We do this every single Thursday. If you're a regular and you're an OG and you're back for the week, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate all of you equally and love you very much. So if you're new to the tea, this is where we spend a little bit of time each week talking about a topic. It's usually body mod related. Occasionally it's not, depending on what's going on in the world. But today we do have a body mod related topic. And before I get into all of that, I will remind you to make sure you follow us on all of our social media because that's where I live and I would really appreciate you for that. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at BodyCandy is our handle there. We are at bodycandy.com on Snapchat, bodycandy.com, just like our website. And then facebook.com/bodycandybodyjewelry, youtube.com/bodycandybodyjewelry, and pinterest.com/bodycandy. Just BodyCandy. Gosh, I'm a little off my game today, apparently. So last week, I had asked for everybody to submit questions so that I could do some little Allie Q&As the next couple weeks. And you all submitted so many questions, and I really, really appreciate that so much. But I'm going to answer 15 of them in one shot this week. And then next week, we will definitely be doing more groupings. But so many of you wanted to know about my stacked lobes from last week. Make sure you Google stacked lobes. They're really cool. They can look all different and crazy for anybody that's not familiar. Last week, I had in like 10 of the seamless rings all stacked up. Right now, I'm only wearing 3, and I will get to that. We'll get there in a little bit. But what's really nice is we have these awesome 10 packs that are very convenient and make this really, really easy to do. Now, when you look up stacked lobes, you're going to see people with lobes that are probably stretched a lot larger than mine. I'm around 17 to 20 millimeters, depending on what I've been wearing and what I've been doing. But the amount of rings that you can wear definitely changes the larger that your ear is stretched. So it can look really, really cool. It's also a really fun time to play with mixing metals and textures. These 10 packs of rings that we have come in solids, like of course the rose gold, which is what I used, but we do have split packs. So they're like half steel, half rose gold, half steel, half gold. There's also black and blue finishes and all sorts of stuff in the mix of these. Definitely will be linking you to them in this email. There's also different gauge sizes, so the look that you're gonna get from an 18 gauge or a 16 gauge ring is gonna be different than what you're gonna get from like a 14 gauge ring. So there's all different ways to do this. There's no wrong way. I really comfortably was able to wear the 10 14 gauge rings, which are what is in this. And I could probably fit more, which is definitely the point, but it's all about what you want it to look like and what's comfortable for you. Make sure that you have a ring that's large enough to allow for your lobe. These are, I believe, 5/16 rings. They could be a 1/4 inch. I think they're 5/16. But make sure you give your lobes some room and some love, because no matter what, if you have stretched lobes, you're totally gonna know this. Your lobes are always changing. You're always like, I don't know, when I lay on them and like beat them up a little bit, they like, sometimes they get like a little bit thicker, which is just like on your hand. If your hand is warm, your rings are gonna fit different. It's all the same, all that same field. So the other thing I wanna add in about this is it is definitely easier to do this with segment rings. We do not have the 10 packs of segment rings right now, so you would have to buy them individually, but it's still something that you can absolutely do. It's really just gonna save you a little bit of time on installing, but you definitely don't need them. If you're going to use the thicker gauged rings that we have, you're definitely gonna want some little pliers. I have little jewelry pliers because I work with jewelry, which not everybody has that luxury, but you can acquire them. It's not hard, especially from like Joann's. Sometimes we sell them on the site. I did not check before this video to see if they were available. If they are, they will be linked on the email that you're on. But I will show you that, you know, I have my little rose gold, my little tweezers here just to show you. So these, as you can tell, are a little bit thicker because they're the 14 gauge. So they stacked up really, really nicely for me. Now with the 16 gauge rings, this is where these are even nicer. And this is also going to be the time for a little bit of a pro tip with seamless rings. These are easier to bend with your fingers, so if you don't have pliers handy, definitely go with 16 gauge so you can do them on your own. Don't take a seamless ring and go, woo, ooh, and then try to put it back because you will break it. You're going to create a crease in the metal. That's going to happen with any kind of metal. Even if you have pure gold is what I was going to say, but even more likely if you have your pure gold. Alloys in gold are what make things like that stronger. Different topic. But yeah, you don't have to go wrenching things apart like this. And in fact, you want to go this way. You want to go side to side, which is actually forward and backward to you. So I started this one just so you could kind of see what I mean. I'm hoping that this shows really well for me on the video, and it looks like it's actually doing a pretty good job. So can you kind of tell how it's like pulled this direction, so one's a little bit to the side? The reason this is so nice is because when you bend them back, first of all, it's way easier. You're not creating a crease anywhere. And also, you're gonna end up with that super seamless look that you're looking for. A lot of times when people pull them this way, you put them back, it's really, really hard to get them to crease all the way back together. This way, you're just sliding it. So it's gonna slide right back into its crease. It's definitely a time-consuming method. It's something that last week when you saw me, I had been wearing them for I think a day or two maybe. And it's really cool, but if you have smaller lobes or if you wear plugs a lot and things like that, you may need to take them out. I did wear them with some smaller plugs for a few days, so there's also options there. So back to why I'm wearing 3 right now. When I do wear plugs, it looks really sick. It's just like an extra touch of gold down here still, but with like maximum comfort. I find that 3 rings, I just don't even feel them there. They're not even noticeable. Another note to make for sure is when I had all 10 in, when my lobe isn't swollen at all or anything like that, and the rings can move a little bit more freely, it was super weird to get used to the rings moving around, but not in a bad way, just a new feeling. So I hope that was super thorough in answering any questions anybody might have had. Definitely Google stacked lobes if you're interested in them. Pinterest is filled with really, really cool looks. And there are also people that do this with like the hammered rings, and you can add all sorts of cool textures. Also, last tidbit about this that I love, they look really cute with like all of your earrings. So I've been wearing these with dangly earrings. I've been wearing them with my plugs. It's awesome. I love it. I hope that was all you guys were interested in. If you need more, please reach out to me on social media. Specifically, Instagram is the easiest place to reach me usually. And if not, I will see you either next week for the tea on Thursday, or don't forget we do Facebook Live every single Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We do giveaways, we look at jewelry, we do Q&As, we have a good time. I hope to see you there soon. I love you all so much. Bye.